Let's go. On to another wonderful delivery for Amazon Flex. Let me show you something this time again. Let me show you something. This nice order we got today. Only 3.5 hours. My goal is to finish it in less time, and that will be more than $30 an hour. That's my goal. Now, 3.5 hour block is normally $63, but we're gonna do this in 3 hours and 15 minutes or less. That's the goal. Now I'm gonna show you I'm gonna walk you through how to start. Now once you reserve a block, you find a block that you like, you reserve it, you swipe, and you reserve the block. When the day comes for you to do the block and close to your start time, then the app is gonna inform you. See, it's gonna have a little start button, and the app's all you need to do is push the start button. It's gonna ask you something about safety for COVID, for your temperature. Yes, I did take my temperature this morning. You hit OK, and it's gonna give you a long COVID message. Hit got it. I said hit got it. There we go. And then the navigation is gonna take you from where you are to the pickup warehouse. So then you just hit the start travel button. See right there, the start travel. Click it, and the navigation starts. And there it starts taking you. And we'll see you when we get there. See you later. Okay, I'm on my way to the warehouse, Amazon warehouse, to pick up the packages. I have an afternoon block. Nice 3.5 hour block. Great pay. Here's the GPS, Amazon GPS. Now before I get to the warehouse, in case I don't have time, now there's different types of warehouses, especially for the packages. Now the warehouse that I'm going to, it's a warehouse where there's designated spots where you park and then you walk inside to the warehouse, and they're gonna give me a little card. I scan my driver's license, then they give me a card. It's a random card. It's not a card designated just for you. Change lanes. It's a card, but they do give you the card that they give you. It just does depend on what kind of block you have. I have a 3.5 hour block, so they're gonna give me a card that's marked 3.5 hours. You know, it may be next to other cards that have 2.5 hour block, 3 hour block, 4 hour, 4.5, or 5 hour. And I'll just show them my phone, and I'll show them that I have a 3.5 hour block scheduled, and they'll pick one that says 3.5, or the next one in line that's 3.5, and that's what I'll get. They don't let you pick and choose. Some cards look like they have more packages, and it's a 3.5 hour. Then the next car that's also 3.5 hours that looks like it has less packages, they don't let you pick. You take whatever the Amazon warehouse employee gives you. Now there's other warehouses I've been to where you can drive inside with your vehicle inside the warehouse. There they usually have all the carts lined up. For example, I have a 3.5 hour block. Everyone that arrives will be 3.5 hours. So all the carts will be 3.5 hours. And again, you just randomly form a single line of vehicles, and pretty much whichever cart is next to you, that's what you're gonna take and deliver. You don't pick and choose. So that's the only negative that I don't like about it, because sometimes they might give me somewhere that's 45 minutes away, or maybe a rough neighborhood that I already know my city is a rough neighborhood. But you know, I've also had good ones where they take me where the rich people are, or it's only 10 minutes from the warehouse. It's real close. So it just varies. Alright, we'll check back in at the warehouse. Okay, we have made it to the promised land, the Amazon Flex warehouse. Now again, like I was saying, this warehouse, sometimes there are signs that guide you to where the entrance is. Actually, there's always signs. I still haven't been to a warehouse that doesn't have signs. Just follow the signs and it'll guide you. It's easy. That's the nice thing. See, there's the sign right there, Amazon Flex. And there's a lot of people today. All the trucks. And we'll see you again after I load our packages. Okay, we will arrive to this warehouse, and then we're gonna click the button changes. It says I arrived. You click it, and then it's gonna want you to take a selfie, and after that you can go check in with your ID and wait for the next cart. One more thing before I go check in. After you take your selfie, it's gonna ask you to turn on your Bluetooth. I imagine that's for like gates. You can open apartment gates from your cell phone through the app. And after that, then you're gonna have this screen that pretty much tells you what to do. You go check in. Like I said, the app pretty much tells you everything you need to do, so don't be scared. Also, another thing, I still have maybe about 12 minutes to check in. Amazon Flex they tell you to not check in more than 15 minutes early. So you can arrive you can arrive 2 hours early if you want, but you can't check in more than 15 minutes. And whatever block time you have, let's say your block time starts at 5 o'clock, for example, they give you an extra 5 minutes, so you have to check in no later than 5:05 in that example. So arrive no earlier than 15 minutes before the start time, and don't arrive later than 5 minutes after the start time. And when I say arrive, that means actually checking in with the associate or at the scanner. There's a little computer scanner. It doesn't mean arrive in the parking lot. That's not what it means. Okay, we'll see you later. The camera, the scanner, then you're gonna get this screen, and all you do is you swipe to finish. You swiped all the packages, and that's it. Let's go deliver our first package. Hit start travel, and the navigation guides you. And see you in a bit. Okay, a few tips on my way to deliver the first package. A few tips, especially as an Amazon Flex driver, you are more going to be a 1099 self-employed contractor, whatever you want to call it. So one thing that I do, I know there's apps to do this, but I'm old school. I normally just reset on my trip gauge. I just reset, start 0, and boom, after I finish dropping off my last delivery, I just see how many miles there are there, and that's what I write down. I keep track of my mileage for tax purposes. Now again, like I was saying earlier, you never know where you're gonna go, and I don't really like this route. It looks like it's gonna be in a rural area, so I don't know what we're gonna get. Maybe a lot of farm homes. Sometimes if you don't have good connection, sometimes you can temporarily lose your cell phone service, for a few seconds or a few minutes. I know it's happened to me before, and sometimes I have to find another way to navigate, or sometimes the app itself doesn't want to work well, and then I start using Google Maps or something else to find the place. Or if you have a navigation in your vehicle, unfortunately I'm using my vehicle that doesn't have a navigation, so it would be a little more challenging. I have had a time where I had to drive back like 10 minutes from in the direction I was going because I lost service. It was very rural, and I had to drive back about 10 minutes before my phone found service again. I looked at the address, I looked where to go, and then I started heading back, and sure enough I lost service again. But I had kind of made myself a little map or something that memorized myself how to get there. But then eventually the service came back, even if I was out there in the rural area. And another tip I give is also look at I know there's apps for it also, but I like to see how much. I usually do it the old school way. I know how much I'm paying for a quarter tank of gas right now. So I just check when I leave the warehouse, I see how much fuel I have. And then when I'm finished delivering, I see how much fuel I wasted. And I've gotten so much experience that I can pretty much tell, that I spent, $10 of gas or $5 of gas, $3 when it's right there close to the warehouse. So again, I know there's apps, especially for you young people or even the older people also. But because I do this, I have full-time work, and I only do this for like extra cash. I don't really go too deep into it and downloading apps and buying dollies, and sometimes I also deliver food, buying food, hot, cold bags. If I was doing this full time, I'd probably, go all out and try to do all those fancy things. In the end, it's probably makes my job easier, but then again, I would be doing it full time every day, so of course I would want it to be easier. But since I just do it randomly, maybe I'll do it today, maybe I won't do another route for a couple weeks, and then again like in a week or 3 weeks, and I only do one route, then I don't really need to get that fancy. I just reset my trip gauge. I see how much fuel I have to begin with, how much fuel do I have when I finished, and then I just record it all on my spreadsheet. Okay, we're here. It's gonna be a residential area. Our first drop off. We finally made it. You're gonna see the little button there that says I've parked. And remember, houses They're always gonna be evens on one side, odds on the other. And I also like to turn on my blinkers just so I don't look so suspicious. And let me see where the first drop-off is. All these houses don't have the numbers. I don't see them anywhere. Okay, it looks like I clearly passed it. And that happens sometimes. Things don't always run perfectly smooth. C22. And if you look at the map, it actually shows you the, well, actually no, because you're gonna see the customer's address. I think I found the house. Okay, it shows you a little grid with all the houses. So you just click on that part and you scan the package. You scan it and you go drop it off. Keep watching me. Like I said, this route is out in the country. Nothing but farmhouses. Well, not so many farmhouses, but lots of rural areas to drive in. And we're in the midst of driving. And yeah, thanks for watching.